everyone, and welcome to my new tutorial. This time we're going to be doing the bean stitch. I tend to find that this pattern looks the most effective when using lots of different colours and doing one row or two rows of each colour. I think that makes it look really nice. Obviously you can do it in just all one colour, but personally I like lots of different colours all together. So just any yarn that you like. And again, this is just a personal preference, but I like to use a half size smaller hook than the yarn recommends. So this is all Stylecraft Special DK, and obviously the hook for that yarn is a 4mm, but I'm going to be using a 3.5mm hook. Just this seems to give a tighter stitch, obviously, and it doesn't leave as bigger gaps in between the beans as it would if you were using a 4mm. So again, it's just a personal preference. I'm going to be using a half size smaller than the yarn actually recommends. So I'm just going to be doing a sample piece, obviously. You could use this for anything. You could use it as a blanket, but obviously remember it would take you quite a while because it is quite a small stitch. But it'd be great for little pot holders or anything like that, or little dishcloths or face cloths. It would be really nice if you were using a cotton yarn for those sorts of things. So to start with, you're just going to do your slip knot, and again I always show this at the beginning of my tutorials, and you're just going to pop the tail end over your finger and wrap it around your index finger, and then cross it in front of that long end and hold on to it, and then wrap the yarn over your finger again and hold with the tail end, and then pull that loop over that front loop on your finger and pull your finger up to secure. So for the bean stitch, you want to work your foundation row to any length that you like, as long as it is an odd number. So as long as you like, so long as it's an odd number. And then you want to add 2 chains at the end. So we'll just do our foundation chain, and to do a chain you simply yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through. It's 3, 4, and you're just going to continue to work your foundation chain until it gets to the desired width of the project that you want to do. So I've done a chain now of 17, and then I'm just going to add 2 to the end, so 1 and 2. And then we are going to start creating our beans. So to do this, you're going to insert your hook into the 3rd chain from the hook. So we're going 1, 2, and this is your 3rd one here. So you're going to pop your hook straight into there, and then you're going to grab the yarn and pull up a loop, and it's like a puff stitch. So you're going to grab your yarn and pull it through, and then you're going to pull that yarn up so that it's level with the other one loop that you've got. So you've now got 2 loops on your hook, and it's not really loose. You can see just how long that loop is there that I've got on my hook. And then you're going to yarn over and insert back into that same chain space, and yarn over and pull up again. Keep it nice and loose so that you can pull it up like this. We've now got 4 loops, and you're going to do it one more time. So yarn over and insert back into that, and insert back into that same chain space, and then yarn over and again keep it nice and loose and pull up nice and tall. So we've now got 6 loops on your hook. So once you've got your 6 loops, you're going to yarn over and pull through all of the loops on your hook, just like this, and then you're going to chain 1 just to secure all those stitches. So a chain 1, and that is your first bean created. So now you're going to skip one chain on your foundation chain. You're going to skip this one, and we're going to work into the next one along. And so once you've done your chain 1 to secure, you're going to go straight into your next bean. So exactly the same way as before. We're not going to chain anything between, and we're going to go straight into the bean. So once you've skipped one, and you're going to insert your hook straight into that next stitch, You're not going to yarn over first, you just put your hook straight in and then yarn over and pull up nice and tall, yarn over, insert into that same space, yarn over, and again pull up nice and tall, yarn over, insert, yarn over, and pull up again. So we've now got our 6 loops that we need, and you're going to yarn over and pull through all of the loops on your hook, and then chain 1 to secure your next bean. And again, you're just going to carry this on all the way along your foundation chain. So now we're going to skip 1 and we're going to go straight into the next one. And remember, you don't yarn over because that's what makes the beans face. These will all lean this way, and then the next row the beans will all lean the other way, but that'll be more apparent obviously the further on we get. So skip 1 and straight in and yarn over and pull up, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up nice and tall again, and 1 more all into that same space and pull up, and then yarn over and through all of the loops on the hook and a chain 1 to secure, and again skip 1 and work straight into the next stitch. So pause or rewind if you need to and just work all the way along your foundation chain, and I will meet you when you get back just towards the end of your row. So I'm getting towards the end of my row. I've just done a bean here and I've got 2 chains left, and I'm going to work my last bean straight into that last stitch there just before the slip knot. So your normal bean, and then yarn over and through all of the loops, and then your chain 1 to secure. So now I'm going to change colour. So I've got to the end and I'm just going to pull my new colour straight through that loop. I'm just going to leave the tail hanging just for a moment, and I'm just going to pull down and tighten up that pink, and then pull down and tighten up on this coral as well. And then I'm going to turn, and now I'm going to chain 2. So I do 1 just to secure the colour change, and then I'm going to chain 2. And again, this is a personal preference, but I really like to tie my yarn when I change colour. So I'm just going to literally tie these 2 ends together. And obviously you can work the ends in as you go along if you want to. I'm one of these crazy people that leaves it all to the end and then does them all at the very end, and I wish I wasn't one of those people, but I am. So we've done our chain 2, and then we're going to go straight in to work a bean. And to do that, we're going to be working into this space just here from our chain 1 from the previous row. So we're going to go straight in to this space just here. I'm going to go straight in and then yarn over and pull up, remember keeping it nice and loose. Yarn over, insert into that same space and pull up, and yarn over again, insert into that same space and pull up, and then you're going to yarn over and go through all of the loops, and then a chain 1 to secure. And again, we're just going to go straight into our next bean, and remember we're working in the chain 1 from the previous row, and we're just going to carry that along all the way to the end. So if you want to do that, and then I will meet you when you get onto your last bean from your previous row. So I've completed my beans coming back the other way, and I just have 1 more to do at the side of this last one here. And what you want to do is find the top from that chain that we did from the very beginning when we turned at the very beginning and worked our way back along the foundation chain. There should be a relatively obvious V. Let me just pop my hook in so you can see it a little better. Just here. It should be quite easy to spot for you, and that's what you're going to be working this last bean into, just here. So just like before, you're going to insert into that stitch, and then you're going to yarn over and pull up, and just create your bean as normal, and then yarn over and pull through them all and do your chain one. And so this is how you should be looking so far, and it should be nice and textured and squishy, obviously, because they're nice puff stitches. And now I'm going to change colour again, and I'll just do that colour change with you one more time. And I am literally just going to pop my hook through that bright yellow, and I'm going to pull that through that last loop there. And then I'm going to turn, and I'm going to chain one just to secure the colour change, and then I'm going to chain two. Now obviously, just remember, if you weren't changing colour and you were doing another row in that same colour, you would only need to chain two. You wouldn't need to chain three if you weren't changing colour, because that extra chain is literally just to secure the colour change. So that's another colour change done, and now we're ready to work our way back along this row. And again, it's exactly the same for every single row. You're going to do your chain two, and then you're going to go straight into the chain one that you did before on the previous row to secure. You're going to pop your hook straight in, and you're just going to do your bean as normal. So if you want to do that across the whole of your row once more, and I'll meet you one more time as you get to the end, just to reassure you on where to go for your last bean stitch. So I've just worked my way back along once more, and I'm now ready to do my last bean at the end here. So you just want to find the edge of your last bean that you created on this previous row, which is obviously just here, and you're just going to do your last bean into just to the left there. Oops. So that is your third row done, and you're just going to carry on in exactly the same way until you've done enough rows that you're happy with, really. So I'm going to do a few more rows with some different colours just so you can see how it works up, but that's pretty much the tutorial. You just follow that pattern all the way up. Now the bean stitch, unfortunately, doesn't give perfectly straight edges. I mean, they're not far from straight, but obviously because you're doing a chain two here, but then the next row will be a bean at the end, you're not going to get absolutely perfect straight rows. So it's one of those things that really just benefit from having a little border put around it at the end, but it's worth it because the pattern itself looks really pretty. But I'll meet you in a second once I've done a few more rows. So I've worked a few more rows now, and this is how it's starting to look. I've done one row of each colour that I was using, and you can see it has like a nice zigzag, and the puff stitches just make it nice and squishy. Like I say, it would be a really sweet blanket, and I just like it in lots of different colours, but in just one colour it would still look just as beautiful. But I really hope that you've enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have, just remember to give me a quick thumbs up, and if you have any questions or anything, or any requests for tutorials, just leave them in the comments below. And thank you very, very much for watching, and remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. But I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.